Okay, so I'm going to be making a shelf here, and I've got 3 pieces of wood, but they came from the same length of wood. Uh, these two are 3 feet, and this one's only 2 feet. So they came from a 8-foot board. It is 2 by 8 by 8. So one of the first things I'm going to have to do is sand the wood on all sides. Get rid of those rough edges, and basically put a nice bevel on the edges and make it nice and smooth. The wood itself on the sides is pretty smooth already, and so it should be pretty good to go. I'm going to leave a lot of the imperfections in place, give it more of a rustic look, and because the stain I have is called New American, and it gives it kind of an aged wood look. So yeah, that'll look nice. So yeah, next step is sanding. I'm showing you here the difference between the sanded edge and the non-sanded edge. So you see how this one is nice and rounded? That's kind of what we want. This is untouched. Look how sharp those edges are. And, you don't want that to be uneven. That can cause splinters, and it's going to make it more difficult to stain the wood. And here's my son helping with his toy. Thank you. Okay, so our next step is, once you've done the sanding, is to go ahead and try to figure out where to place your hardware. So this being an industrial pipe shelf setup, we want to make sure that we have all the pieces necessary. So essentially, what we have here are a couple elbows. These are called black steel because, well, they're black. And so you got elbows. These short lengths of pipe with threads on either end, these are called nipples. So these are black steel nipples. And I think these are 1 or, well, no, these are 2-inch, because this section right here is 2 inches. And then of course you have these little caps which screw on the end. If you have nothing else going on, you put these caps on there. So after combining all the pieces, now we can go ahead and measure. So looking at this wood here and the way the pipe is going to fit through the wood, we're going to make sure it's kind of lined up here. There we go. And then that's about where I want my hole. So I'm going to mark that hole, and then I'm going to use a 1/8 hole bit, and we're going to go ahead and cut that out. Okay, so I've gone ahead and drilled a hole, and as you can see, it fits perfectly. That 1/1/8 hole bit will make easy work out of this. And then of course you'll see that the flange will fit on that end and will be mounted against the wall. Alright, let's go and do the other one, and then we're going to stain. So for this application we're going to be using Early American penetrating stain, and it's going to give it a nice antique style color. And of course, if we want it darker, all we have to do is add more stain. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and do that. I've got my wood over here, and we're going to go and stain it. Okay, so I've gone ahead and stained this using the Early American stain, and it's not quite dry yet. I did this about 4 hours ago, and it is still a little damp in some areas, especially in higher concentration areas, especially around the knots. So yeah, I'm going to leave this to dry overnight, and then tomorrow I will go ahead and apply the shellac or polyurethane coat, however you like to call it. Okay, so it's been a few days since I've stained this piece of wood here, and it's definitely had plenty of time to dry. It looks really nice, and yeah, I'm very pleased with the results here. And now I'm going to go ahead and put some polyurethane on it to seal it and protect the wood, and that way it'll last like a really long time. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and just put some polyurethane on there. This is the triple thick polyurethane from Varathane, and yeah, I'm just going to pour a little bit on there. Okay, we're just going to take a rag and we're just going to kind of spread it around. And now that you've distributed the polyurethane, it's going to be like really shiny. It's going to have a lot of streaks in there, but all those streaks are going to smooth themselves out as it dries. It's going to just sit on top of that stain, and it's just going to get a lot clearer. All right, so we just have to wait for this to dry. Okay, so it's actually been about 4 months since I completed this shelf. I unfortunately did not get any video of me hanging this up. It just didn't happen. I just went ahead and hung it up. So in order to mount this, I mentioned the flanges earlier in the video. These are the flanges right here, and they essentially just screw on to the rest of the rest of the pipe there, as you can see, and these screws are going directly into what's called drywall anchors. They're like pieces of plastic. You screw the plastic pieces in first, and then you go ahead and put the flange up, and then you screw the screw in through the flange into the drywall anchor. Each drywall anchor itself can carry up to 75 pounds, so this is kind of overkill. You could probably get away with just using 2 instead of all 4, which is what I've done here. But I like to do a little bit of overkill. Yeah, so this shelf is very sturdy. It came out really nice. As you can see, the shellac or the polyurethane just left a nice subtle sheen, but for the most part what it's doing is protecting the wood. If you want it shinier, you can definitely add more polyurethane, more coats. Yeah, so this shelf is pretty sturdy. This Klipsch Icon speaker by itself, I think it's about 20 pounds or so, and I have no fear of this thing ever moving. I mean, this is very sturdy. I'm putting some weight on it now with my hand. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. So yeah, you got technically 8 of those drywall anchor screws, and yeah, I mean, a small child could probably sit on this shelf and it's not going anywhere. So I'm pretty confident in that. But yeah, it was pretty easy to mount, and I did use a laser level. I basically shone a laser light across the wall to mount this properly. And basically all I did is I lined up the first hole on the top of the flange with the laser level, and then yeah, it came out perfect. Yeah, so if you have any questions, comments, anything like that, just go ahead and leave a comment below this video, and if you liked it, hit like. And if you're a first-time visitor here, please hit subscribe. I got more videos coming up, and also check out some of my other videos. And yeah, thanks so much for watching Daily Dirt, and you guys have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.